The hood would fly into the crowd and sever the heads of multiple spectators watching in the stands.
What's up guys, the Antio here, and today we're here to check out a video called Most Painful Car Accident Deaths Ever by A Talking Hat. If y'all don't know about this channel, apparently I heard like this person's channel has like great animation that goes along with what he's saying, and it's just flawless. Like he just gets right to it. So this should be very interesting because can get a little bit gore-like. I hope it's not too bad, but apparently it's got really good stuff and I'm really curious to check it out. But before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't joined the Discord already. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
The donut incident.
The what?
It was just another midday drive.
Also, he has a meter on the left side, so it lets you know how bad it's going to get from least to worst. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell because I have a long journey ahead and I ain't stopping anytime soon. Now let's get back into the video.
This 28-year-old man in Ohio.
Okay.
The sky was clear, the roads were stretched out like any other time, and for him, his morning had officially started.
Okay.
The only thing left for him to do was to get some breakfast. So he'd stop by a store to grab some donuts and coffee before taking off for work. And just like that, his morning was entirely complete. The man was sipping a coffee in one hand and biting a donut in the other.
Nice.
For him, things really couldn't get any better than this, but somewhere between the first sip and the next bite, everything went sideways.
What?
Literally.
Uh-oh.
You know what would make this day better? Some music. Hey
Okay.
Siri, play some Diddy.
Now
Diddy?
playing Demi Lovato.
What? No. I said play Diddy, like, you know, Puff Daddy?
Now playing Yeats.
Does he die trying to change the music?
I'll just do it myself.
No.
While eating his donut, it'd slip out of his hands and knock over his coffee.
Ah.
In a panic to stop the spilling, he quickly reached for the beverage to steady it. And just like that,
It's on his nuts.
in a split second, his car veered left to the opposite lane of traffic. I forgot to mention that this was all occurring in the middle of the highway on an extremely busy Wednesday morning. And unfortunately, at 50 to 60 miles per hour, that's all it takes. His vehicle cut across the lane and slammed head-on into two westbound cars, completely flattening one in the process.
Oh my
The impact
goodness.
was violent enough to leave three vehicles completely mangled and scatter their debris across the field of the road like an explosion. Witnesses said it was chaos. One driver was trapped inside their vehicle with crushed metal, pinning them in place, while first responders worked frantically to cut them free. As for the flattened car, it sat in the ditch with its airbags blown out, windshield shattered, and frame completely crushed. When paramedics arrived at the scene, they worked desperately to extract the victims from the wreckage. They would even try to bring out the body in the flattened vehicle, and to their sheer horror, the victim was still alive. The crews would immediately transfer both individuals to the University Hospital's Geauga Medical Center,
He lived, right?
while a third refused further treatment. To everyone's total shock, all the victims in this accident survived with no life-threatening injuries.
That's
The
good.
man responsible was quickly identified and questioned. His rambunctious craving for donuts and coffee on the highway had turned a quiet Ohio road into a disaster scene. Police instantly cited him on the spot. Sometimes it's not speed or weather or a drunk driver that causes the crash.
Right.
Sometimes it can simply just be a donut, so don't drive while distracted. 35.
That's insane. That's totally insane. Like, the music ain't that important. Just let Demi Lovato or whoever play and just pause it and get to the radio when you got time. Like, like what?
35. Honestly, this one was a little too depressing, so I decided to take it out. Instead, for this incident, you can just look at this cute rabbit for a bit.
Aw. Top 3 favorite animals: rabbits, foxes, and I don't know what else. This is cute.
Hell Train. It was the evening rush.
Oh, that
on
was it?
February 3rd, 2015
How bad was that? If that's the case, like, it can't be that bad, right?
in Valhalla, New York.
Valhalla.
Commuters boarded the Metro North train that was headed for the
They got my boy Sala in this. I forgot he was in this. I forgot. It's like, yo, that's crazy. They got my dude in here. What the fuck? That's cool as hell. What?
after a long day in Manhattan.
Corey.
At the same time, a 49-year-old mother
Also, if y'all don't know, Sala, it's one of the reasons why I started my reaction channel. Literally, like one of my biggest inspirations. I'm not kidding. Someday I hope to meet him.
from Edgemont was behind the wheel of her Mercedes SUV. She had just left work and was cutting through unfamiliar backroads due to an earlier accident on the highway.
The
She
donut.
approached the Commerce Street crossing, a dangerous grade-level track where warning lights flashed and gates descended. But instead of stopping, as you might have already guessed, her SUV ended up in the worst place possible, the tracks. Like any other normal person, you'd think that she would reverse her car out of harm's way, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Instead, she drove forward, accidentally stopping on the rails as the crossing gate came down behind her,
Oh
pinning
my
her
gosh.
vehicle into one place. She
That's
panicked
scary.
quickly, trying to find an escape, but without a second to react, headlights pierced the dark.
Uh-oh, it's over.
The Metro North train, carrying hundreds
It's
of
over.
passengers, slammed into her SUV with catastrophic force. The impact drove the 5,000-pound vehicle nearly 1,000 feet up the tracks before ripping it apart. But that's only the beginning of what made this situation so terrible.
She got
When the
spring-trapped.
train impacted her car, the rails snapped off the ground and speared through her SUV, right into the train's passengers. These rails would shoot up from the floor
Oh my
and send
gosh.
fire and sparks exploding onto the passengers. The first carriage completely erupted into flames as metal debris tore through windows and seats like shrapnel.
She didn't die, right? That'd be bad to make that joke if she died. I'm not making like fun of like, cause like, you know, the animation, but if they really die, that's like really sad.
At the rear of the train, riders only felt a slight bump, but up at the front, it was a pure nightmare. Smoke filled the cars, people screamed, and sections of rail shot through the cabin like burning javelins. People desperately clawed at jammed doors, but the heat was unbearable and too suffocating. The smell of burning seats, fuel, and flesh is all that survivors
Oh my
could remember
gosh.
when trying to escape. The scene was described as literal hell on a train. When the fire finally died down, 6 people were gone and 15 others were severely injured.
Oh, damn.
The SUV was obliterated, and the train was left mangled and scarred by the flames. This remains the deadliest crash in Metro North Railroad's history, and the moral is as simple as it is brutal. When you're on the road, always be attentive and learn to react quickly. Most of the time, roads are actually pretty boring, and honestly, they don't really have crazy things like this happening all the time, but in the rare case you end up in a situation like this, be prepared and always act fast.
Dang, rest in peace to them. Sad.
The stands were packed. Families, fans, and journalists gathered shoulder to shoulder, watching the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Okay.
Cars from Mercedes, Jaguar, and Ferrari screamed down the straightaways, pushing limits that the track itself had never
Wait a minute, the meter says nightmare fuel. It can't be that bad. What's a crowd of people? It's gonna be terrible. Oh goodness. I don't pay attention to the meter. I'm just now looking at the nightmare fuel. That's oh, okay.
been designed to handle. Then came lap 35.
Uh-oh.
Mike Hawthorne darted toward the pits, braking hard in front of the Austin Healey driver. Macklin swerved to avoid him, but in doing so, he moved directly into the path of Pierre Levey, who was going at over 120 miles per hour. What happened next was unfortunately pure carnage. Levey's car struck Macklin's rear end and was launched into the air like a missile.
Already
The
parked
man's
instantly.
car literally started flying.
Or stopped.
And of course, it'd be aimed at nothing other than tightly packed crowds of bystanders enjoying
No.
their favorite cars racing on the track.
No.
The Mercedes would smash into the spectator in front of the grandstand, and on impact, it would immediately disintegrate. The car's heaviest components, like the engine block, suspension, and radiator, tore free and hurled into the crowd with the force of artillery shells, obliterating dozens on impact. However, the worst part was the hood. It was sharp, silver, and launched out of the car the fastest, making it form a spinning motion like a saw blade. The hood would fly into the crowd and sever the heads of multiple spectators watching in the stands. Survivors would later describe this scene as the hood decapitating tightly jammed spectators like a guillotine. By the time the smoke cleared, at least 82 people were gone and hundreds more were injured.
Damn.
This event would later on become known as the 1955 Le Mans disaster, and it would remain the most catastrophic accident in racing history. A little fun fact about this event is that the organizers wouldn't allow the race to stop. They'd ensure that the drivers kept competing so that the venue didn't ensue into a mass panic and block medical responders from being able to enter in. This event would be so shocking to the world at the time that multiple countries across Europe banned motorsports altogether until safety standards could be improved. No matter how exciting or important something feels in the moment, it's never worth risking lives by ignoring safety.
All right.
One bad decision can hurt not just you, but everyone around you. Don't speed, don't be distracted while driving, and always drive safely. With that being said, have a happy day.
Same to you. Cute. Cute rabbit. Yep. Goodness. Yo, those are some crazy deaths. Like, yo, that's just insane. Why would that dude stop at it like in an instant? Like, why? Like, what were you thinking? People are behind you doing flying and just cut people's heads off and whatnot. That's insane, man. That's a crazy cameo with Sala in it. That's crazy. They got my dude in there. He's the tool as to why I started my channel in the first place. Him and Waka. I'm not gonna lie. If you love the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also join the Discord. Link in the description if you haven't joined the Discord already. Keep it chill. I love y'all. Until next time. Peace out.